Hello. You know that metals are a good conductor of electricity. And you also know that electricity is nothing but flow of free electrons. So if electrons travels from point A to point B through a substance, through a conductor, it will result electricity. So if we can combine these two experiences, we can surely tell that a metal must be generating free electrons. Only due to that, metal can be used as a conductor. So this is the first thing we learn, that metals has a tendency to lose electrons. In fact, all the properties of metals that we had learned in previous class, such as the property to shine, its ductility, its malleability, having a high melting point, all these properties can be related to the atomic behavior of metals. So in this class we are going to learn how a metal atom behaves. So we have already told you metals has a tendency to lose electron. So if you take a metal atom, that atom will have a tendency to lose electron. So now in any atom, the number of proton and the number of electrons are same. So the number of proton will not change because it remains at the nucleus, inside the nucleus, and the electrons are distributed around it. Now if that metal atom loses electron, the number of proton remains same. So by doing so, it becomes electropositive, or a cation is generated. So the metallic property is to lose electron or to become electropositive. So this is the first thing we learn about metal atom. Now, easier the electron is lost from the outermost orbit, that would mean the metallic property is higher. So if you take metal A and metal B, A and B both are metal, and if you find that B has a tendency to lose electron greater than metal A, that means B has a higher metallic property than A. For example, sodium and lithium both are metal and both have one electron in its outermost orbit. So both has a tendency to lose its electron, valence electron. Now since the size of sodium is greater than lithium, we can say that sodium can easily lose their electron, because when the electron is farther away from the nucleus, it experiences less amount of force by electrostatic force by the nucleus. So greater is the distance of the electron from the nucleus, more easier for it to lose that electron. So for different atoms, higher is the size, greater is its metallic property or electropositive nature. You take this example of aluminium. So this screen is divided into two parts. If you notice from the left part at high and at the top, so I have there is a diagram of aluminium atom. Now aluminium has 13 proton inside the nucleus, so there are 13 electrons are distributed around the nucleus. So in the first orbit K there are 2 electrons, in the L orbit there are 8 electrons, and in the outermost valence orbit there are 3 electrons. And the tendency of aluminium atom is to lose all these 3 electrons from its valence shell. Now we are going to remove these electrons one by one. First, aluminum is in its ground state, there is no electron lost. Now if we take one electron away from its outermost orbit, it has lost one electron and it has become Al plus 1 ion. In Al plus 1 state, number of electron is 12, but the number of proton is 13. So the number of proton is 1 higher than the electron. So ultimately it generates a charge, Al plus 1 charge. From Al plus 1 state, we can remove another electron to bring it to Al plus 2 state. From that, if the third electron is removed, it becomes Al plus 3. So all the 3 electrons are removed one after one, and due to in this process aluminum has become Al to Al plus 1, from that Al plus 2, and after that Al plus 3. So all these plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, these are the charges of aluminum throughout this process, and we can call this oxidized state of aluminum. Now you look at the right part of the screen. The iron has two oxides. Iron, when reacts with oxygen, it can form two type of compound. First we can have ferrous oxide FeO, then we can have ferric oxide Fe2O3. In case of ferrous oxide FeO, the oxidation state of iron is plus 2. This means when the compound is formed, the iron atom has lost 2 electrons, which was ultimately gained by the oxygen atom. So Fe plus 2, oxygen minus 2, it becomes a bond, a compound is formed. Similarly, in the case of Fe2O3, the iron is in plus 3 oxidation state. So there are 2 iron atoms in the Fe2O3. Each iron has lost 3 electrons each, which was gained by the surrounding oxygen atoms. So in these 2 compounds, the metal atom is same iron, but the oxidation states are different. So as we learn further, we can see a particular atom can have different oxidation state in different compounds. So we will leave it for our later classes. Now we are going to learn various chemical reactions involving metal. So for that we are going to make another video. So stay tuned.